Caedmon presents Essential Vonnegut. Interviews with Kurt Vonnegut. Conducted by Walter James Miller. Copyright 1973, 1981, and 2006 by Kurt Vonnegut Jr. and Walter James Miller. Production copyright 2006 by HarperCollins Publishers.
Now that Kurt Vonnegut is actually here with us at the microphone, I admit that his presence puts me in a bit of a quandary. On the one hand, Kurt Vonnegut is one of two very cogent artists, Hermann Hesse being the other, who have indeed convinced us that explanation blights. On the other hand, like every veteran reader of Vonnegut, I can hardly conceal my impatience for at least a discussion, if not an explanation, of certain pet questions. For example, I personally would love to discuss with Kurt Vonnegut what I consider to be one of the most ingenious and artistically perfect parallels in modern literature. I mean the parallel between the fate of Roland Weary in Slaughterhouse-Five and the fate of the hero Roland in the medieval Song of Roland. Even more important to most of our audience, I'm sure, is the direction in which Kurt Vonnegut's work is moving. Has he truly abandoned his right-handedness, which produced several major novels of our time? Has he truly rediscovered his innate left-handedness, which he felt would lead him into a creative period of drama? What has come of his interest in the old Italian Commedia dell'arte? And does Vonnegut want to talk about Sourdough Limited? Well, that's the only unselfish way out of the quandary, of course, to talk about what's most interesting to Kurt Vonnegut at this moment. Kurt Vonnegut, welcome to Reader's Almanac.
Well, thank you very much. Should I start answering?
Take it where you will.
Yeah. Well, I'm 50 years old, which has an awful lot to do with any crisis I've gone through. I think it's the basic crisis. It's a biological crisis. I would have gone through it if I were a Pontiac dealer. I had a large family. The children all grew up. They're all in their 20s now. And I had the role of father, and that's over. Essentially, I was fired from a job I'd had for 25 years. It was like being fired from Life magazine. It's whatever those people are feeling. These people, when they reach 50, feel anyway, when their children leave. And so I thrashed around, as American writers often do, trying to build a new family by getting into theater of one sort or another, because you do get a new family that way, and you do become head of a household for a while again. I tried this, putting together a play, Happy Birthday 1 to June, and it turned out that this was an intelligent way to get a new family, as it was gratifying, and it was a sensible thing to do socially, not artistically, probably.
Well, now, you yourself pointed out that the idea for Happy Birthday 1 to June occurred to you when you reread Homer. You decided to put Odysseus into a modern setting and to show how cruel and absurd that concept of manhood is. Would you like yourself to tell us about the origin of the character of Roland Weary?
No, well, I will tell you. I had lucked out, as I've never thought the parallel between Roland Weary and the Song of Roland, except that Roland was a name from chivalry. On the details of the Song of Roland, I surely knew them at one time, probably in high school. I don't now, and I'm enchanted that I have paralleled.
This is fantastic, then, because for all that time it was in your unconscious.
Yes, I think it really was in my unconscious.
I have a book coming out in which I trace 6 parallels between the Song of Roland and the life of Roland Weary in Slaughterhouse-Five. And it's really this is a perfect example of how the artist takes things in and then percolates them and works on them.
Well, when things are going well, when the writing is going well, and I know that I am a professional and in the right profession, I'm not thinking at all. It's like skiing. There's where there isn't time to think. And, my mind is very good this way, is bringing things out of an essentially barbarous education in Indianapolis But the Song of Roland was in there, and Ode to a Grecian.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?